Whiskey Pete should have just stayed on Fox News. He could have gotten all the weird Crusader tattoos that he wanted. He could have drank himself into a stupor on a Tuesday afternoon just like the good old days. I mean, just imagine the group chats this frat boy could have came up with over on Fox News after he had a few too many waters.
Anyway, what I love about this is it could be water, it could be gin, and you don't know.
Who knows what behind-the-scenes information we would have gotten as each one of us was added to a signal group. And while the drinking thing is really just an easy jab, it's obvious that this man is ill-equipped to be in charge of the DoD. I mean, not only is he responsible for the biggest national security leak we've seen since Chelsea Manning, he's responsible for the second biggest national security leak too. And what's insane is the way he's trying to cover up for himself, from backstabbing longtime friends to lashing out at his old coworkers on Fox News. It's clear this man is seeing the writing on the wall, and what we're witnessing is a monumental crash out. I've got a ton of stuff to show you, so hang out, drop a like, and subscribe to join the resistance. Thanks to everyone who's joined up already. Thank you for getting us to 500K. Y'all are the best, seriously. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Pete's neck is on the chopping block after he added his wife and a brother to another Signal group chat, and even Republicans are saying that it's time to yank him from his position.
Overnight, a prominent Republican lawmaker joining calls from top Democrats for Hegseth's resignation. Nebraska Congressman Don Bacon telling Politico, quote, "I find it unacceptable and I wouldn't tolerate it if I was in charge." Adding, foreign powers like Russia and China are likely to be monitoring the Secretary of Defense's phone and, quote, "he's acting like he's above the law, and that shows an amateur person." NBC News has confirmed Hegseth shared sensitive information about U.S. military operations in Yemen last month on his personal phone in a Signal group chat with 13 people, including his wife, as well as his brother and his personal lawyer, who both hold jobs at the Pentagon. That's according to two sources with knowledge of the matter.
He's blaming this on 3 employees, advisors that he fired, some of which were longtime friends and worked with Hegseth for years. They all joined together and came out against him in a joint statement. Former Defense Department spokesperson John Oliot resigned and then published an opinion piece calling the past month at the Pentagon a full-blown meltdown of infighting that is hurting President Trump. Well, that's a good thing. 3 other Pentagon advisors, Dan Caldwell, Colin Carroll, and Darren Selnick, were escorted out of the Pentagon and accused of leaking information to the press. The trio then put out a joint statement on X calling their dismissal unconscionable and saying they have not been told what they were accused of leaking. Clearly, Hegseth is just throwing these advisors under the bus because they seem to be the ones responsible for the media finding out about the Signal chats. No investigation into Hegseth for leaking the classified information. He only seems upset that somebody leaked the fact that he leaked. It's leakception, and he's hoping no one notices the bait and switch. But no, that's not going to work, Pete. Even Brian Kilmeade on Fox is poking holes in this story.
You know these guys. Like, these are the guys you picked, especially Caldwell. And they worked for you for your previous job before you got over to Fox. And they said that they have not been asked about their phones. They weren't asked about communications. They didn't go through, they didn't take a polygraph. So why would they be let go and not be investigated?
Well, Brian, when there were a series of serious leaks at the Pentagon, which there were, Panama Canal plans, Elon Musk's visit, you name it, any number of things, and there's 4, 5, 6, 7 things. We said enough is enough. We're gonna launch a leak investigation, which we did, which was then handed over to OSI, which is the special investigators here at DOD. Right. Through that investigation, information was surfaced, which created a responsibility to take action. That's how it works when you you actually investigate leaks, Brian. So it's easy to say, oh, we asked everybody and everybody said they're good. Or you can take it seriously and say, we don't think leaks are okay at this department. Right. So we're going to investigate. And when we investigate, we'll take it anywhere it leads.
This man is shaking in his boots. Must be itching to get back to that special little cabinet that he keeps behind his desk. But again, the serious investigation that he's doing is into who leaked the fact that Pete is doing illegal and dangerous stuff over on Signal, adding friends and family in on the plan like it's a phone deal at AT&T. Instead, he wants to go after the people who told us about it.
When you dismiss people who you believe are leaking classified information. And again, the investigation is ongoing, and that will take time. And when the evidence produced, it will go to DOJ. Why would it surprise anybody, Brian, if those very same people keep leaking to the very same reporters whatever information they think they can have to try to sabotage the agenda of the president or the secretary? So once a leaker, always a leaker, often a leaker. And so we looked for leakers because we take it very seriously. And we will do the investigation. Right. And if those people are exonerated, fantastic. We don't think, based on what we understand, that it's going to be a good day for a number of those individuals because of what was found in the investigation. So if they want to keep leaking and pushing and peddling things that try to sabotage the president's agenda, that's unfortunate. But that's how leaking works in this town. We're focused on recruiting, on rooting out DEI, on securing our southwest border, on the president's agenda, and it's going very well at the Pentagon, and I'm proud of it.
Dude, he seems completely insane, just off his rocker. He's shaking like a rabid dog. And the unprofessionalism and sheer national security risk of using Signal doesn't seem to be the topic that Hegseth wants to discuss. In fact, he seems pissed off that he's even being questioned about it, especially on Fox News. I mean, he gets riled up enough to call this whole thing a press hoax right to Kilmeade's face, who's, presumably the press.
I don't have time for the hoax press that peddles old stories from disgruntled employees. We should be talking about the decimation of the Houthis, how we're pushing back the Chinese, how we have a new defense area at the southern border. Instead, disgruntled former employees are peddling things to try to save their ass.
Did you?
And ultimately, that's it's not going to work.
I don't know about you guys, but the way he's moving around is a bit unsettling. He moves like he wants us to believe that he's not drunk, like he's trying to fool his own body into sobriety. But we all know what's on his mind. He can't help himself from mentioning it.
And get along to go along. And, start doing Meet the Press and going to the Council on Foreign Relations and spending time with all the new cocktail sipping crowd. That's not why I'm here. I'm here because President Trump asked me to bring warfighting back to the Pentagon every single day. Right. That is our focus.
I don't drink cocktails. I drink hard whiskey and gin straight from the bottle. And people have been responding to this in the most hilarious ways all day. Just a reminder, the release of white smoke from the Anheuser-Busch factory signals that a new Pete Hegseth has been selected. Here's something from the Lincoln Project. Breaking, new Pentagon leak shows Pete Hegseth's text with his mother. I think I'm going to get fired. You deserve it. Here's my favorite one. White House begins search for new Secretary of Defense, per NPR. Pete Hegseth's point of view, and it's the same thing but just blurry. The clown car is getting emptier and emptier. First Musk is out, and now Hegseth. I mean, at this rate, they'll finally get that small government that they always wanted. If you watched this far, make sure to like the video and double check that you're subscribed. I really appreciate you guys supporting us. I'm Tony Hinderman with Really American, and I'll catch you next time.